Hello my dear students, welcome to the board. How was the Mathematics Virtual Classroom? Good, you learned a lot there? Good. Well, let's continue with the perimeters, alright? What is perimeters? Now when I say the word perimeters, it's finding the distance from point A all the way around back to where you started, alright? So if you start at point A, you go around that figure and then you get back to where you started at the point A, and then that's what is perimeter, okay? So let's say, for example, let's say you live in the countryside, okay, and you got all these wild animals coming to your house. So your dad says, well, let's put fence around the house, okay? So let's put your house, okay? Let's put your house right there, and you want to fence around it. First, you got to know what's your property line, okay? So you know this is your property line, all right? So you want to fence it. And you also have a dog, so you also want to put a fence for the dog, alright? So let's first fence around the house. So we got to find the starting point. So this would be the starting point. So we need to know the length from there to there, and then to there, and then back where you started. That is the perimeter. Okay, then you said, well, we have to put a fence for the dog, am I right? So we're going to put in the back of the house, alright, right there. Now, does that include a part of the perimeter? No, it's not. That fencing is an extra, but does not include a part of the perimeter. Perimeter is only the distance outside of that figure, okay? Does not include inside the figure. So when I start point A, when I go to point B, and then point C, point D, and then back where I started point A, that is the perimeter. This extra fence that I added to put my, let's say if I have a dog, if I put a dog or chicken in there, or you know, any other animals, pets, does not include a part of the perimeter. See that? Does that make sense? So in other words, let's say for example, if I have a rectangle, and then I have a square on top of that. And if I ask you to find the perimeter of that diagram, of that figure, so how would you do? First you find the starting point. Always start the starting point. Let's say we start right here. A, and then B, and then C, and then D, and then E, and then F, and then back I started. See that? So that is the perimeter right there. Now what about this one? Does not include in the perimeter, alright? Keep in mind, inside the diagram, inside that figure does not include the length inside, okay? So let's say if I give you another figure, let's say if I have a square, rectangle actually, with a triangle on the top of it. Now I ask you to find the perimeter of that figure. Again, you locate a starting point, alright? First, you need to know all the distance, all this distance before you start, so that way you can start adding them. So once you did that, and then once you do that, you start the starting point A, B. So you need to know the distance from A to B, B to C, C to D, D to E, E to F, F to G, and back to A. And you need to know all those distance, and that is the perimeter. And yes, Mr. Mac, how about from B to D? You do not include that. That's not part of the perimeter. Okay, anything inside the figure, it's not part of the perimeter. Okay, so now if I were to tell you, then the length of the fencing around the house, let's say we want to use 25 meters, all right, and then the breadth, let's say it's 30 meters. Okay, so what would be the perimeter? And it's a rectangle. What is the perimeter of this figure? Let's say if I told you this one is 5 meters and this one is 6 meters, that you need it for your dog or chicken that you want to put in there, alright, to fence them. So what is the perimeter of this fencing around your house? Okay, let's start from A. A to B is what? 25 meters. B to C, 30 meters. C to D, see it's a rectangle, that means this is also 25 meters. How about D to A? It's also same as B to C, which is 30 meters. Now, so we started here, 25, 30, 25, and back to A, which is 30. Now what about, do I add 6 and 5 meters? No, those are inside. That's not a part of the perimeter. Okay, so the perimeter fencing around your house is from A to B, B to C, C to D, and back where you started, the A. Always back where you started. So perimeter has to be closed loop. There cannot be open loop. If there's an open loop, it's not a perimeter. Alright? So let's say, for example, you want to keep it open right here. That means you're not finding a perimeter. Okay? It has to be closed all the way. And it's a closed loop. Okay? So now the perimeter around your house for fencing would be 25 plus 30. So we would use a pairing method. We're going to add this two, and then we're going to add them. Alright? So let's add 25 with 30. 5 plus 0 is 5. 2 plus 3 is 5. Okay? So that gives me 55 meters. And plus this is also be 55 meters, and we're going to line up this two, 55 and 55, plus 5 is 10, carry 1, 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11. So that gives me 110 meters right there. 110 meters. Okay, so it's very important. You do not add that. Alright, okay, so just like this one right here, it's around it, doesn't include this one right there. The same thing, it's around that figure, doesn't include B to D. Alright, let Mr. Mac erase the board and let's do some problems and we can understand better. Okay, I'll be back with you in a few seconds. Alright, my dear students, let's say for example, okay, Mr. Mac to give you a rectangle, okay? And you know that the characteristic of a rectangle, if I were to give you, let's say for example, a rectangle, and you know that if I were to give this as a 45 centimeters, and this one is 29 centimeters. And you will know the length of this and length of that. Because why? With a rectangle, this length and this length are identical, the opposite length, the opposite side, alright? The opposite side will be same. So in other words, this is 45, this will be 45 centimeters. And this one also will be 29 centimeters. So in order to find the perimeter of this rectangle, first what I do? I locate a starting point. Alright? So A to B, B to C, C to D, and back to where I started. That is the perimeter. Has to be back where you started. Okay? So now if I want to find the perimeter of that rectangle, so perimeter equals to A to B is 45 centimeters plus 29 centimeters plus 45 centimeters plus 29 centimeters, back where I started. See that? So now I use the pairing method. I add this two, and then I'm going to add the final two. Alright? Okay, so let's line it up. So 45 plus 29, 5 plus 9 is 14, 4 carry 1, 1 plus 4 is 5, 5 plus 2 is 6. So that gives me 64 centimeters, and this is going to be the same, it's going to be plus 64 centimeters. And then I'm going to line up 64 and 64, and I'm going to add them. 4 plus 4 is 8, 6 plus 6 is 12. So that gives me 128 centimeters. Okay? Now also pay attention. Make sure that all the units are same. Alright? Let's say I could have done this way too. I should ask you to find the perimeter of this figure right here. Okay? And I told you this one is 3 meters and this one is 120 centimeters. See that? 3 meters, 120 centimeters, and then I told you this one is 150 centimeters and this one is 60 centimeters, and ask you to find the perimeter of that. So you have to convert this into centimeters. So what's the relationship between centimeters and meters? 1 meters equals to 100 centimeters. 3 meters equal to 300 centimeters. See that? So then I say this one equals to 300 centimeters. So then I add them around. So I'm just giving an example, okay? So this is not proportionally correct but measuring wise, okay? So I'm just trying to say if you're given a different unit, you got to convert them and make them all in the same unit. You cannot add 3 meters into 120 centimeters. So you have to convert the 3 meter into 300 centimeters, alright? Okay, so let's say for example, Mr. Mac to give you another problem. I gave you a rectangle with a square on top of it. And then I kind of utilized this line right here. See that? And then I told you this one is 12 meters. And then I told you this is 18 meters. And then ask you to find the perimeter of that figure. Find the perimeter. So how do you do that? Again, first get all the length, the distance, okay, located first, and then go around it and add them. Okay, what do I mean by that? So let's start with, let's say if this is my starting point, what is going to be this length? So you know that all these lines are saying they're all the same length. If that means if this is 12 meters, what is this will be? 12 meters. What this will be? 12 meters. What this will be? 12 meters. What this will be? Also 12 meters. See that? If this is 18 meters, what this will be? 18 meters. This is from year to year is 12 plus 12. So what would this be? Also 12 plus 12, which would be the 24 centimeters. See that? So that's how you use it. I mean, I didn't give you all the length, but you need to utilize what you learned, all the characteristic of rectangle, square, and based on that, and you find the length. Right? So I'm not going to give you everything, but you need to figure it out. That's what's mathematics, the beauty about mathematics. You come up with it, alright? I'll provide you a few information. Based on the few information that was provided, you manipulate that to find the rest of the information. Okay? So in this case, I know the length of from year to year is going to be 12 plus 12, which is what? 24. So it's going to be 24 meters. So now I have all the length I needed to find the perimeter of this figure. Am I right? So let's start with this one. A to B. So A to B is going to be what? So perimeter P equals to 12 plus, since all the units are same, let's just drop the meter right now. Okay, we're just going to put the numbers. When we add it later, we're going to put the meter. Okay, so we can start. A to B is 12, and then B to C, it's going to be what? Also 12. Okay, and then C to D, also 12. And then D to E, also 12. And then E to F, it's 18. And then F to G, 24 centimeters. And then back to A, it's what? 18 meters. Now you're asking, how about B to E, Mr. Mac? That doesn't include, that's not a part of the perimeter. Why? That's inside the figure. See that? Perimeter is finding the distance, the length around the figure, not inside the figure, alright? So it's going to be around the figure, okay? So let's use this method. Perimeter is the, what method we're going to use? Around the figure, okay? Around the figure. Alright, so now we got listed all the length, alright? Oh, I said we don't need to put the meter, I put the meter. That's the meter, alright? So, okay, now let's add them. Let's pair them. We're going to add this together, and then we're going to add this together, and then we're going to add this together. Later, we will add the 18, okay? 12 plus 12 is 24. So, we got this one's 24, this one's 24. 18 plus 24 is 18 plus 24. 8 plus 4 is 12. Carry 1. 1 plus 2 is 2. 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 2 is 4, so 42. So this is 42. Okay, so let's rewrite this one again. So we got 24 plus 24 plus 42 plus 18 right there. Okay, so that's it. Now we're going to pair them up again. So we're going to plus 24 with 24. Okay, let's line them up. So 24 plus 24. 4 plus 4 is 8, 2 plus 2 is 4. So that gives you 48. 42 plus 18. So 42 plus 18. 2 plus 8 is 10. Carry 1. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. Plus 60. Now we're going to add this too. Okay, so we're going to take 48 and add it to that one. 0 plus 8 is 8. 6 plus 4 is 10. So 108 meters. See that? Pretty easy, isn't it? So from A all the way around back where I started, okay, it's 108 meters. So what is the steps? What is the principle in finding a perimeter of a figure? First, locate all the length and then go around that figure, locate a point and start from that point and go all the way around back where you started. Now remember, it's around the figure, not inside the figure. Does not include the inside the figure. Okay, around the figure. Okay, that's the method we're going to use. For perimeter, we go around the figure. Okay, good. Alright, let's do one more. Okay, let Mr. Beck erase the board and we'll do one more problem. I'll be back with you in a few seconds. Alright, my dear students, let's do another one. Okay, let's say for example I got a rectangle and then with an equilateral triangle. Okay, and then on top of the rectangle I'm going to put a square. Okay, so and then I'm going to put this and ask you to find the perimeter. So I just give you, let's say for example I told you this is 12 centimeters and I ask you to find the perimeter of this figure. And he's like, whoa, Mr. Mac, you only gave me one. But look at all the lines that I kind of showed you. What does that tell you? That means they're all equal length. Okay, just distribute them. All right. Okay. So if this is 12, what is this will be 12. What is this will be 12. All these are centimeters. Okay. And what is this will be 12. And what is this will be 12. And what is this will be 12. What is this will be 12. And what would this be? If this is 12 and this is 12, that's the total. 12 plus 12. 2 plus 2 is 4, 1 plus 1 is 2. So that means 24 right there. See, now look, you got all the length all around it. So that's the key thing is what? Don't get panicked when you see only one length is given and then none is given. But look all the hint that's been given. The hint is this right there. Those lines. That means they're equal length. Now what about this one and that one? No, that's not part of the perimeter because why? The inside the figure. We want only the outside the figure. What is the perimeter principle? Around the figure. Around the figure. Okay, good. So what's our next step now? We already put all the measurements. Now we locate the starting point. Okay, let's do a starting point right here. Alright, this is going to be my A. Alright, so that means this is going to be B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and back to A. Alright, so let's start from A. A to B. A to B is 12. B to C is 12. C to D is 12. D to E is 12. E to F is 12. F to G is 24. G to H is 12. And H to A back to where we started is also 12. See that? Now look how many 12 are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12. Alright, how about we just multiply? Alright, 12 times 7 and we can add that with the 24. Isn't that be easier rather than trying to add this. Alright, so from our timetable 12 times 7 is what? Very good, 84. Okay, 84 plus 24. Let's line it up. Okay, so 84 plus 24. 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 plus 2 is 10. So 108 centimeters right there. That's it. And that's the perimeter. Okay, keep in mind for perimeter unit is centimeters, meters, kilometers, things like that. Alright, because when we go to area we're going to see something different. So I just want you to pay attention when you're finding the length. This is a finding the length. It's centimeters, meters, millimeters, kind of like this. Alright, okay, good. So it's pretty easy, isn't it? Straightforward. Alright, the key thing you need to remember is inside does not include. All around the figure is the perimeter. Okay, good. Alright, my dear students, let Mr. Mac erase the board and we will talk about hands-on practice. Yes, are you ready for some hands-on practice? Alright, my dear students, let's call Pablo out. Okay, let's see what he's doing right now. Oh, he's busy doing the hands-on practice. Let's call him out. Okay, Pablo, come on over. Come on over, Pablo. Bring the hands-on practice. Our dear students are ready for some hands-on practice. Alright, my dear students, here is Pablo and here is the hands-on practice sheet, and he's going to hand over to you and have fun with it. Alright, okay, here it is. Alright, oh good. Alright, you ready? Alright, let's do it, okay? Alright, the first question says, find the perimeter of the figures below. And you're given a triangle, okay? So 1A, you're given a triangle, and you're asked to find what? Perimeter of this triangle. And so in order to find the perimeters of a triangle, you need to know the length all around the triangle. Am I right? So in other words, you start to point here, and then you go right here, and then right there, and then right there. So in other words, you need to know the length of this, and which is given 7 meters, and then you need to know from here to here, which is 5 meters, and then from here to here, 4 meters. Perfect. So we don't have to find anything. So everything is given to us. That means we can find the perimeter. Okay? So we'll put P as a perimeter. And let's say this is A, B, and C. We want to start from A to B. A to B is 7 meters. And then B to C is 5 meters. And then C back to where we started, A is 4 meters. Okay? So now we're going to add them. So we're going to use the pairing method, okay? So we're going to add this first, and then we're going to add with that one. 7 plus 5 is 12, okay? 12 meters plus 4 meters now. So 12 plus 4, or we can either line them up, okay? Or you should be able to add them. 2 plus 4 is 6, and then you bring 1, which is 16 meters. And that's the perimeter. Be careful here, the unit is just meter, okay, for length, alright? Okay, good. Now let's go to B. Now B is a combination of a square and a triangle, okay? So we got a square and a triangle. And look at this. There's a lot of lines here. What does that line stands for? That's tell all this length is same as this length, same as this length, same as this length, same as this length, okay? That's what that means, alright? And you're given, and this one has 6 centimeters, and this one has 4 centimeters. Can I find the perimeter of this figure? Definitely yes, because why? I know all this length. How do I know that? Because not given. But look at this line. That line. If this is 4 centimeters, what is this going to be? 4 centimeters. What is this going to be? 4 centimeters. What is this going to be? 4 centimeters. You start a point here, starting point, and go around and see if you see all the length are there or not. Yes, it is. That means I can find that perimeter. Alright, that's the key. You find the starting point, A, and then go to B, and then B to C, C to D, and then D to E, and then back where you started. Make sure all around there's a length to it. If that's not given, you find it. Okay, there's always indirectly, they would have given it such a way that you can find it. Okay, so like in this case, Pablo kind of did put a line to it, that you know that if this is 4 centimeters, this is going to be 4 centimeters, that's going to be 4 centimeters, this is going to be 4 centimeters. Now what about this line? Are we going to find that too? No, because when you're finding the perimeter, you're finding the length around the figure, okay, surrounding the figure, okay, alright, so surrounding the figure, okay, so you just the outer line length, okay, so let's do that. So we're going to find perimeter of this figure, and we're going to start from A to B is what? 4 centimeters, and then B to C 6 centimeters, and then C to D 4 centimeters, and then D to E 4 centimeters, and then E back we started to A is 4 centimeters, okay? So now how many 4s do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can say 4 times 4 is what? 16. Okay, much easier rather than trying to add 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. Just find how many 4s are there, you multiply it, okay? So you got 16 centimeters total of the 4, and you're adding it with 6 centimeters. Alright, so we're going to line it up. So we're going to put the 16 and 6, line that up. 6 plus 6 is 12. 2 carry 1, 1 plus 2 is 2. So that gives me 22 centimeters. You got it? Good job. I'm proud of you, alright? Okay, let's look at problem C. Problem C, you're given a combination between a rectangle and a square, okay? So you've got rectangle and a square, alright? And we're going to find the perimeter of this figure, okay? And you are told, given only one length, but Pablo generously put this line right there, the equal length line. That means, what is this length? 6 centimeters. 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 But what about this one? Look at this. If this is 6, what is this? Also 6. What does that mean? All this are going to be 12. 6 plus 6. That means what is this going to be? 12. See that? That's what you got to find. It was not given to you, but you should able to find it by knowing the length of a rectangle. The opposite length always what? Identical. See, you got to understand that characteristic of a square, of a rectangle, okay? The characteristic of a rectangle, the opposite length are always identical, okay? So, if this is 12, what is this one going to be? Also 12, okay? Okay, now we should be ready to find the perimeter, am I right? Because we know all the length around the figure, okay? Not including this one. We don't want that. Only around it, okay? So what do we do now? Find the starting point. Okay, let's say this is our starting point. Okay, let's put A to that. A, and then this is going to be B, C, D, E, F, G, and back to A. Alright? So let's do that. So A, let's find the perimeter of this figure. A to B is what? 6 centimeters. B to C, 6 centimeters. C to D, 6 centimeters. D to E, 6 centimeters. E to F, 6 centimeters. F to G, 6 centimeters. And then G, back where you started, A is what? 12 centimeters, alright? Okay, now let's find out how many 6 are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6, okay? That means what? 6 times 6 is 36. Very good. 36 centimeters plus the 12 centimeters. Okay? So let's line it up. Let's line it up 36 with 12, okay? So 6 plus 2 is 8. 3 plus 1 is 4. So that gives you the total perimeter of that figure is 48 centimeters. Alright? Okay, good. Well, let's do problem D. Well, how about Mr. Mac do this? Let's erase the board and we'll do problem D. Okay? I'll be back with you in a few seconds. Alright, my dear students, you ready for problem D? Alright, let's do D, okay? D, you're given combination of 2 squares and 2 triangles, okay? Okay, let's draw that. Alright, we got 2 squares and then we got a rectangle on top of that and then another rectangle on the side of the square right there, okay? And then we got a lot of these lines. What is that? Equal length lines, okay? Alright, pay attention to that, okay? But we got 2 type equal length. That means these 3 are equal and all these are equal, okay? So that's why they differentiate by using 1 line and 2 lines, alright? Okay, good. Then you're given, alright? So you're given all these lines, alright? And then you're given the length of this one as 6 centimeters. And this one has 4 centimeters. Alright? Then you should able to find the perimeter, alright? Because why? All these lines tells you this length is same as this length and same as this length. And this length is same as this length, same as this length, same as this length. See that? What about the inside? No, they're not part of the perimeters. Only the outer length, okay? So since we know this is 6 centimeters, what is this going to be? Also 6 centimeters. What is this going to be? Also 6 centimeters, alright? Okay, good. What about this one? Because we know this is 4 centimeters. See that? Equal length. This means 4 centimeters. And this one, 4 centimeters. This one, 4 centimeters. Alright? Do we have all the length surrounding the figure? Yes, we do. So now let's locate a starting point, okay? Let's say this is our starting point. Let's say this is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then back to A. That is the perimeter, okay? So let's do that. Okay, perimeter P equals to AB is 6 centimeters, BC is plus 6 centimeters, CD is another 6 centimeters, okay? Then we're going for DE is 4 centimeters, and then EF is 4 centimeters, and then FG is 4 centimeters, and then back where we started another 4 centimeters. Okay, so now rather than trying to add them, how about we find how many 6 are there? 1, 2, 3. 6 times 3 is 18. Okay, so we know this is 18 centimeters. And how many 4s are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 centimeters. Now a lot easier, isn't it? Now we can just line them up and add them. Okay, so let's line it up. 18 with 16. 8 plus 6 is 14. 4 carry 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. Okay, so 34 centimeters. There you go. That's it. Right there. Okay? Good. Well, how do you do? You did good? Good job. So proud of you because you're the best. You are. You're the best. Mr. Mac always proud of you, and that's why Mr. Mac is here to bring the best for you, because you deserve the best, and it's coming from the best. Well, my dear students, you should be ready for your quiz. Okay, go get them. All right, have fun with the quiz. And here's Pablo. Thank you, Pablo. He's already reminding us it's quiz time. Yes, it is quiz time, and thank you. He also dared you. Actually dared us. All right, that's right. He wants you to go and do it. And do it, and then come see Mr. Mac on the next sub lesson. All right? Okay, have fun, and I'll see you next sub lesson. All right? See you. Bye bye.